You would often hear me say that the idea of building a business and really setting yourself apart and establishing your own lane is not easy. It's not easy. It doesn't come without its obstacles or without its challenges in the process of building a successful business and a successful brand. And I would argue the point that at this particular moment in time, the idea of a successful brand is very much synonymous with the idea of a successful business. And with that in mind, it's in your best interest to really figure out how you are able to align your brand to a level of success that will then equate to the idea of building a successful business. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about a few sort of strategies and ways you can implement the idea of reverse engineering your success through the idea of reverse engineering your brand. And if you do not know who I am, my name is Tariq Peters. I am a brand authority strategist and I'm also an accredited PR practitioner. And I work with fractional CFOs and independent finance leaders to help them build a level of brand authority, which is their personal brand multiplied by their business brand, multiplied by their campaign brand. When all those three brands align, you get to a level of brand authority that makes you more visible and credible to your desired target audience, and that will drive more leads into your business, more clients, and ultimately more revenue. So if you're interested in all things branding, marketing, and PR, then please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And also check out the description box down below and check out my Substack because I post content on there every single week. So there's always something that you can listen to or read, right? There's content all over the place. I'm putting in the work. And I'm posting content, I'm uploading content, in fact, every day on YouTube for 1,000 days, if you are not familiar with the process. I started in the 1st of January 2026, and I'm still going strong. So, with that, I want to talk about the idea of reverse engineering your success, right? Because ultimately, I reverse engineered the process of what success means for me, right? And if you are not familiar with the channel, my aim is to build a seven-figure brand within 1,000 days. And for me, my journey started in July 2024 when I left my full-time role to pursue this journey into entrepreneurship. And for me, it was the start of January where I said to myself, you know what? In order to get different results, you have to do different things. You have to go out of your way to do things that no one is willing to do or thinking to do. And as far as content is concerned and the way that, content is being developed at a rapid rate, as I mentioned all the time, it's a lot more easy to produce content, but it's not as easy to produce video content and to be able to show up every single day, to be able to showcase various different insights, strategies, plans that can be implemented, and my real life sort of journey into what I'm doing on a day to day basis. I'm documenting the whole process. So, with that, my whole idea of everything was I need to reverse engineer the whole journey, right? And with that, it is in your best interest to do so because it allows you to always have a plan that you're sticking with and you're working towards, right? And by no means am I saying that in circumstances you don't pivot, right? If something isn't going the way that it needs to go, you pivot, you make tweaks, and you refine it to the point where you are able to continue to work towards your goal. And in the grand scheme of things, right, when you get to the point of understanding what that sort of end goal looks like, right, you are sort of not in control in terms of what happens in between, right? Like all of that stuff in mind is God's timing, as I always say. But with that in mind, if you have the idea of where you are currently at, where you are going, and where you want to end up, that is the best way for you to be able to break down the process of how you are able to reverse engineer the process. So for me, right, my idea of reverse engineering was to give myself the ultimate goal for myself. So that ultimate goal for myself was to build a seven-figure brand, right? And I've done previous videos on this as well. You need to establish your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you going out of your way to build your brand and build your business to a level of success that you require? What is the reason as to why you are willing to be working every single day in order to make these sort of dreams a reality? So for me, it was in my best interest to really think about it, which I have, and I've shared it in all various different videos as well. But for the sake of this video, we'll just focus on the actual reverse engineering aspect of things. So with that, I gave myself the ultimate goal, right? So following the ultimate goal, I had to think to myself, okay, this is my ultimate goal. How long am I going to give myself? So I said 1,000 days. I'm going to give myself 1,000 days. And with that, the time frame can vary with everyone. I just decided on the idea of 1,000 days because I suppose, firstly, it sounds marketable when you position it in a way that I'm producing and uploading one long form video on YouTube every single day for 1,000 days. It stands out because not everyone thinks you can do it, first and foremost. Not everyone believes that you have the capacity or the capabilities to do it, which is great because I'm very much someone who likes the idea of being able to prove people wrong. I'm very much competitive in that sense, where if you say that I can't do it or you don't think I can do it, then believe me, I will find a way to get it done. So it's with that, that's what gives me the energy to continue to grow and develop and refine my skills in that aspect of things. But then also for me, which I'll get into in a moment. So we got the big goal, right? Then you have the amount of time that you're willing to work on this goal. And then you need to have an additional sort of reason as to why you are doing it, right? Which I'll get into. So for me, my reason as to why I'm uploading one long form video every single day was to build and develop the confidence to be able to speak on camera and to build that level of camera confidence that can see me through in various different scenarios that allow me to showcase my level of credibility as I speak about the importance of brand building and your brand authority. So for me, I felt that once I get to the point where I just become a lot more confident in my approach of being able to develop content and being able to speak on camera, that will translate into all the various different opportunities that I'm looking to put myself forward for, right? So with that, despite the fact that I have my ultimate goal, there's additional sort of things that I am working on improving on a day-to-day basis that continues to keep me on the straight and narrow, right? And with that, it's also something that's allowed me to effectively benefit from the secondary sort of opportunity that I can get as a result of me producing said content. Because then obviously with the goal of hitting seven figures, a seven-figure brand in 1,000 days, that is the journey. That is the sort of marketing story, right? That is the story that I'm showcasing and positioning myself as the thing that allows me to stand out from my competitors or my peers. The fact that I have that much tenacity, that much determination to really go forward with it and to really push forward. And ultimately, for anyone who is able to see my content and they're able to see the way that I go about pursuing my goals with that much determination, then I would like to think then they would also envision that I am very much committed to whatever they are looking to achieve when it comes down to brand building and being able to work with them to help make sure that they are able to hit their dream outcome as well. So for me, it also comes to the point of being able to lead by example, right? And leading by example for me is incredibly important. I always said to myself, I do not ever want to be that person who sort of speaks from not having the sort of groundwork or the experience of these particular things I'm talking about. I like to be someone who has done the thing or in the process of doing the thing, and then I can document it and also showcase and tell people exactly what the process was for me. And of course, not everything will work. The same things that work for me may not work for you, and vice versa. But it is through that once I have skin in the game of being able to do it on a recurring basis, then I have enough grounds to talk about it from my personal experiences, right? So I think that part is incredibly important. So that's with the whole element of reverse engineering, the whole process where I'm able to document and showcase and teach to other people as well. And the last thing I would say for that as well, with the reverse engineering aspect of things, you have to document the process as well. And it's up to you if you decide you want to document it publicly or privately, or if you want to have a sort of mixture of both. But I would highly recommend that it's in your best interest to document that process. And I always say that you do that by highlighting the sort of wins, the lessons in your life, and also the highlights. So all the little things that has happened in your journey that has resulted in additional opportunity, or things that you may have necessarily felt was a great achievement in that sense. Maybe not as much as something that would be considered as a win, but definitely something that should be noteworthy and considered as a highlight as well. So, with that, you have to really be intentional when it comes down to the process of brand building and working towards your goals as well. But ultimately, you have to focus on what that big goal is. You have to give yourself a time frame, right? Whether you say you want to do something within a year, that's completely fine. If you say 2 years, that's fine. If you want to do 1,000 days like me, please feel free. Join the crew and let's get this content stuff popping off, man. But I assure you, it's in your best interest to put a time frame on it. And it needs to be something that is a good amount of time for you to continue to grow and develop and learn and refine your skills and to get better over time. You need to give yourself enough time for the compounding effects to take place. Because when you start to do that, then you start to see how things ultimately fall into place. And I feel a lot of people, they get into a process where they say they want to do certain things, but they don't necessarily have that level of commitment to keep going and to do the same thing day in, day out, right? Because it's just something that they will ultimately burn themselves out, or they'll get tired, or they just don't understand the reason as to why they are doing it. But when you establish the actual idea of the reverse engineering process, you will never forget why you're doing the things that you're doing. All the things that I'm doing, I've documented the process from day one. I know exactly why I'm doing this, right? I know what is driving me. I know what continues to move me in the idea of producing the content, and I document the process. So there's never a day where I'm not aware of certain things that I've been able to achieve, or certain sort of highlights I've been able to take note of, or any particular things that may have not gone to plan, but I've recognized it as a lesson that I can incorporate moving forward. And I can actually have it as something that I can showcase as a lesson that I've learned in real time later down the line in the process as well. So that's why I would say that part is incredibly important as well. And then think about all the sort of secondary benefits that you would get as a result of you doing the said thing. What's that line? They say that if you shoot for the moon, aim for the moon. Or let me know in the comments what the actual line is exactly. But I believe it's the idea of if you shoot for the moon, aim for the moon. And if you fail to hit the moon, then you land on the stars. So despite the fact that you had your one objective and your main goal, the fact that you even positioned yourself to even go forward on the journey, whether you get to that point of hitting that goal head on, the fact that you took every single day to commit towards what you are doing, you are definitely going to land in an opportunity that you would never have been able to get without that level of dedication and work anyway. So it's in your best interest to really go forward, go forth, and really work towards your goals each and every day. So that's it for this video, man. I just wanted to kind of showcase the sort of tips I would share from the idea of reverse engineering your route to success, and being able to position that throughout the journey. Because I assure you that it's not easy, but once you get to the position where you understand your why, and you also understand the actual frequency of what you're doing, how long you're giving yourself, and what the actual end goal looks like, you are always in a position where you can always be in a position where you feel grounded on the back that you know how long you are doing this thing for and what things are leading to, and all the sort of opportunities that occur on the back of you just going on the journey. And that's the thing that I would leave you with. Reverse engineer the process towards your success, but then document the full journey, because it is the idea of the things that you are able to learn along the way that makes the journey worth it, right? So that's it for this video. Please let me know if you found it helpful, and please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out. Look after yourself.